And another thing, the picture that Kendrick has as his cover art, it looks like a house with little dots on it. Yes, that's Drake's house on the neighborhood app, the app that lets you see sexual offenders in your neighborhood. Drake got 13 registered at his house, 13 sex offenders registered at his residence. 13! 13! 13! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lex and I would absolutely love it if you love this content, if you would like, share, comment, and subscribe, because all of these things continue to help my channel to grow. It helps my channel to get out there. It inspires me to keep creating. And most of all, it just is really exciting to talk to you guys, to talk about these topics. Today is going to be a little deviation from the typical content that I've been making, which has been the Circle recaps and reviews and the Never Ever Mets reviews. Yes, the Circle recap will be coming. I'm gonna record it right after this, and I will have episodes 11 and 12, up today. If not today, definitely tomorrow. I also will have the Never Ever Mets episodes 2 and 3. That should be up probably by Monday. Give me a little time with that one. And then I am recording this one, which is going to be kind of my takes on the Kendrick and Drake beef. And then also I'm going to be recording a Amanda Seals, like what I think about the whole thing. So a couple of pop culture videos, like I said, kind of have taken a deviation from the pop culture videos, but I thought, I have to throw my hat in the ring. So let's get into it. First off, I want to say this. I want to be very clear. I am not really a huge fan of either one of these people, Kendrick or Drake. I'm not a rap stan. Actually, my fiance co-wrote this video with me. He helps me with some of like the background and the lore, because I didn't know like every single little detail and what every single little thing meant. So he definitely helped me out with putting this video together. So shout out to him. Okay, I'll put a little cutesy pic of us right here. But yeah, he helped me out a lot with this. And second of all, I'm not a stan of either one of these people. Okay, I think Kendrick, obviously, his lyrics are amazing. He has a Pulitzer Prize. There's a reason why. Like, he's a master with the pen. Like, that's undeniable. I also think Drake has some bangers, okay? Passion Fruit and Teenage Fever are phenomenal songs. Like, I love those songs. But for me, I'm not like, I love either one of them. I'm screaming at either one of them. Also, this is not gonna be a deep dive. Like, if you're not really aware of what's going on, this is probably not the video to start, because I'm just gonna kind of touch on the previous songs, but I really wanna touch on the 2 songs that were released last night, because that's where I feel like I have the most to say. So this is just a chatty vid, okay? Don't take this too personally. Like I said, if you're a stan of any of them, I'm not a rap girly. I honestly, I don't listen to that much rap. So like I said, don't take any of this and take it too personally, okay? If I forgot something, that is what it is. Let's get on into it. So, for those of y'all who are living under a rock, no. But if you're not aware of what has been going on, basically, Drake and Kendrick have been in some rap beef, okay? They have been kind of coming at each other back and forth, throwing shots. There's been, I think, 6 or 7 songs released right now. And to give like a little quick timeline, Kendrick released this song Like That, okay? And that song was basically taking some shots at J. Cole. So now J. Cole releases 7-Minute Drill. And if you remember, J. Cole done rescinded. He rescinded 7-Minute Drill, okay? He said,
text flooded. I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime. Boom, boom, right? Niggas want to see blood. And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these 2 niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood. So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back and I try to keep it friendly. But at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I. So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, like, goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, y'all are like, forgive a nigga for like the misstep and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Past 2 days felt terrible. Like, it let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. So all of that to say, man, I wanna now perform the song that's a reminder to me of getting back on the right path and getting in tune with God. And the name of the song is called Love Yours. I wanna do that for y'all right now.
I am taking my hat out the ring. We'll put the video right here. He said, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. Now, here's the thing. I think for what it's worth, J. Cole was probably kind of smart. Like, look, I do think dropping out of a rap beef is kind of, I was like, sir. But that being said, I think now this has really transcended like your typical rap beef and it has escalated. So I think him taking his hat out the ring saying, you know what, I'ma stay out, I'ma just take care of my kid and be with my wife, right? He's married. I think that was a smart idea, okay? Because I do think that this has gotten way too far. So at this point, Drake released Push-Ups, okay? That was kind of his next song there. And Made Freestyle kind of came after that. So if you remember Made Freestyle, this is the song that Drake released with that AI Snoop Dogg voice where literally an AI Tupac voice where Tupac's estate literally was like, we did not accept this, which we really, I feel like, need to talk about that on a deeper level, how much this AI stuff is really, really, I don't know. It's kind of scary that artists can do this. And it's crazy that Drake would do this because if you're on TikTok, there was like a whole period of time where there was this trend of like AI Drake.
I'm sorry, don't leave me. I want you here with me. I know that you love this girl.
Singing like all kinds of different songs. So for Drake to do it when he literally was in the hot seat of being in this AI mess, I'm just like, okay. So I was really glad that he had to take that joint down. I was really glad that he was not able to keep that because what is the point? And then why are you doing an AI Snoop voice? Snoop is still alive. So I was also really confused there. I was like, Snoop's alive? And I'm pretty sure Snoop was like, I'm going back to bed, bro. Like, Snoop ain't even bothered. Like, I feel like that would be so me. Like, if I was in that position, that would so be me. Where I'm not even gonna bother. Like, Drake is up to that shenanigans again. So after Made Freestyle came Euphoria. And this is where I kind of want to start, okay? Because there was a few other lines in like that and push-ups. Kendrick, talked about how, for all your dogs getting buried, there's a K with these nines, he gonna see Pet Cemetery, all them kind of lines talking about these different things where he's about to come at Drake, warning shots, warning shots, warning shots. Drake had push-ups where he started talking about how Kendrick's short. That's been Drake's like main line, talking talking about how Kendrick's short, how the fuck you big stepping with a size 7 men's on or something like that. I'm like, bro, you be itching to call that man short. It's not even funny. He also came at The Weeknd, and now, if you know me, The Weeknd is one of my favorite singers. I know he's problematic from The Idol, and yes, that has made me kind of take a step back from him because The Idol was really bad. But The Weeknd and Party Next Door were always like my two favorite male R&B singers. So for me, I'm like, leave my mans alone, leave my mans alone. So yeah, there was a few lines here and there and like that and push-ups, but again, that all is not even where I want to begin, okay? Kendrick let me get my dates right, on the 3rd of May, he releases, so let's rewind. On April 30th, Kendrick releases Euphoria. And this is where I feel like the beef really started, because Euphoria was filled with double entendres, was filled with warning shots, was filled with info. I mean, it was absolutely insane. I mean, the title alone, Euphoria, has so many meanings. Obviously, if you've seen the show Euphoria, you know it's about teenagers who are into drugs. Like, that's essentially what that show is. And Drake is an EP on that show. And I actually did not know that until this. And I watched Euphoria for the first 2 seasons, and then that show became way too much for me, and I hopped off the wagon. But Drake is an EP on Euphoria, so it's a double entendre already, because Drake's an EP on that show, and the show's about little kids who are into drugs. And Kendrick has already told us so many times that Drake's addicted to pills, and he likes, I have to be very careful how I talk on this video because, you know, YouTube gets angry. But he likes young girls. That's the best way I could put it. We know that. So already within the title, that man was coming at him. So other lines that were of highlight, one thing that I thought was crazy is that man said, I be a new Ho King eating fried rice with a dip sauce and a blammy crody. And everyone's like, crody, 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 that's like Toronto slang. Toronto slang. But Drake's cat's name is Crody. So that man was calling him a pussy and using the name of his cat and throwing Toronto slang at him. I was like, hold on now. So for me, I was like, okay, shots are being fired. Also, New Ho King, that restaurant, when Kendrick mentioned that restaurant, the sales went up like this. And then of course, now we gonna see that restaurant come back a little later in the video when Drake talks about it too in his song. But I was like, oh my gosh. So he used the name of his cat to call him a pussy. Also in this song, it started kind of the culture revolution, because he basically has this line here, and let me get into it. Let me get into it. I even hate when you say the word nigga, but that's just me. I guess some shit just cringeworthy. It ain't even gotta be deep, I guess. And this started kind of this whole conversation about Kendrick telling Drake that he shouldn't say nigga. Is Drake black? Is Drake not black? Again, if you're living under a rock, Drake is biracial. His mother is white. His father is black. And I thought it was very clear and very obvious in this conversation what Kendrick was trying to get at, in that Drake is a culture vulture. Like, he has stolen so many styles from so many different people. I mean, Black American culture. Remember, Drake is not African American. Drake is from Canada. Like, that man's from Toronto. Okay, yes, his father's from Memphis, question mark, but that man grew up in Canada. So he has stolen a lot of Black American culture, which again, I'm not saying that like that's a monolith, or that like you can't do certain things if you're a Black Canadian, you know. But the reality is Drake has stolen so much of Black American culture, Caribbean culture. You know, Drake has pretended to be from every island in the Caribbean. You know, Memphis culture. That man claims he's from Memphis. He's not. Hood culture. That man grew up in a wealthy neighborhood in Toronto in Canada. You know, his family's Jewish. He was on Degrassi. He grew up with his white mother. So the clear point that Kendrick was trying to make in all of this is like, why are you trying to act like you're hard? Why are you trying to act like you're an African American? Why are you trying to act like you come from all of these different cultures that you don't embody? This is not you. You have to put on a mask every single day in order to get big, whereas an artist like Kendrick didn't have to do that. Kendrick has authentically been himself. The reason why Kendrick is big is because he pushes that pen. He pushes that pen and he writes bars, okay? Like I said, not a stan of either one of these, but there is no denying that Kendrick's bars are top tier. Like, of like present day rappers, no one's matching Kendrick's bars, period. Like, I don't think we need to get into some real talk about that. So it's like, to me, I think that a lot of people took this very literally, where they're like, oh my God, how, even Drake, you know, the Drake stans, they took this very literally, where it's like, look at it at a higher level, right? The man is obviously saying that you shouldn't be saying nigga because you don't embody that person that you're attempting to be. So I thought that was a big thing, and the talk really came out of this bar in Euphoria. He also talks about the braids, you know, how Drake has the braids. And again, yes, Drake is a Black man. He can wear cornrows if he wants to. But again, it's like, you got these cornrows in your head, you know, you're saying nigga, you got ab etching, you got, you know, you have Ozempic. Like, you're trying to be somebody that you're not, and that to make you big, because who you really are doesn't embody who you want to present. And I've always said this from day one, like, if Drake marketed himself as an R&B singer, I think Drake would be like, arguably like one of the top male R&B singers. Like, I love R&B Drake. Take Care, like Passion Fruit, I cannot think, Teenage Fever, like those songs, the softer Drake songs, I love those. I do not like Drake's rap. I do not like any of Drake's rapping. It's not for me. I'm not a fan, but I love like the softer side of Drake. And that's why I'm always like, if Drake wanted to be an R&B singer, we wouldn't even be here. But it's like Drake wants to present himself as this hard rapper from the trenches of Memphis. And it's like, bro, you not from Memphis. Okay, let's keep going. So next up, after that comes 616 in LA. And again, not gonna break it down lyric by lyric, but some of the big themes that came out of 616 in LA is that, number one, there's a mole in OVO. Kendrick is laying down the foundation of the fact that there is a mole in OVO, okay? Someone in Drake's camp is working for Kendrick, and I thought it was interesting because this whole thing comes up about how Drake talks about how he's always paranoid, this man can't sleep, all of these different things because he's worried about people, you know, trying to come for him. So Kendrick's like, yeah, your people aren't even on your side, they're on my side now. I was like, oh, that's crazy. You know, Kendrick talks about how, yeah, like, I live a boring life. I love peace. I don't have drama. I don't have tea. I don't have all these things about me, you know? Ain't nobody reveal my secret child. So that was kind of where Kendrick was going. And Kendrick, again, with the double entendres. 616, let's talk about it. Proverbs 6:16. I'll read this all for you. There are 6 things the Lord hates, 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a man who stirs up dissension among brothers. So Proverbs 6:16. Tupac's birthday is June 16th, 1971. Canadian Father's Day was June 16th. The funeral of Nicole Simpson And the glove, by the way, is the cover of this, this whole song, 616 in LA. Euphoria's first air date is June 16, 2019. Also, this is produced by Taylor Swift's regular producer, or one of Taylor Swift's regular contributors. Like, oh my God, like I said, the double entendres of the song being called 616 is insane. I was like, what? I was like, how does this man do this? I thought that was crazy. Also, the fact that all of those things happen up all on the same date was like so insane to me. So that's where we leave off with 616 in LA. And then we have Last Night. So basically, Family Matters drops, okay? Drake drops Family Matters. And this is where I feel like the beef has started to explode to the point where I'm like, I feel like this is kind of beyond a rap beef, and now we're at like, I don't even know. I don't even know what you call this, okay? I don't know what you call this, but we is beyond rap beef. So again, this song is crazy. I highly recommend just going to read the song by yourself, lyric by lyric, okay? Because I'm just gonna touch on a few things. Number one, this line was crazy. This line was crazy. This man said, always rapping like you about to get the slaves freed. You acting like an activist is make-believe. Don't even go back to your hood and plant no money trees. That's insane to say that this man is rapping like he wants to get the slaves freed. That line, I was like, Drake. You an activist, it's make-believe. So again, this whole thing about him being an activist, obviously Kendrick has presented that he's for the community, for the cause, that he's very involved, but it's, you know, according to Drake anyway. And all of this is alleged, by the way. I feel like I didn't throw this in here. All of this is alleged because I know Drake's camp is out here copyright claiming people. So this is all alleged. Nothing I'm putting here is my property. I don't own these songs. This is all alleged. I am not starting this. All of the stuff I heard is simply going off the song. I don't have an inside source. I don't work for nobody. This is all alleged because I heard Drake's team is copyright claiming people. Allegedly on that part too. Anywho, but yeah, so apparently Kendrick don't be donating to his hood even though he claims to be an activist. So he says we got this part too. You the black messiah wiping up a mixed queen and hit vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem. So this is all about how Kendrick says he's so black, but yet he's only with mixed or white women. And I think this is interesting for Drake to come at him with this because, like, Drake, so are you. What black women are you with? I know you wanted to be with Riri, but again, Riri's light skinned. So I thought that was very interesting. And I will say, this is an interesting talk about colorism, taking it out of the rap beef. This is obviously an interesting conversation about colorism. Obviously, as a dark-skinned black woman, we all know and we all see in the industry, even these activist type men still have a type, still go for certain women. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a preference. I mean, look, my fiance is a non-black Hispanic person. Like, for real, like, it's okay. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with dating outside your race or anything wrong with, you could still be very much black and very much for the culture and date outside your race. So I think it's a cheap hit. I do think it's interesting when these men have a type, though. I think we can talk about the fact that a lot of these male rappers do have a type, you know, do go for certain women, and it's not uncommon for none of those women to be black or none of those women to be darker skinned. So I do think that's an interesting segue. However, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Like, Drake, you don't date black women either. You don't date no black women either. So he then goes on to talk about how he did his baby mama dirty his whole life and he's trying to make peace. So the big kind of gutter, like the big gutter of this whole song is that Kendrick does his baby mama dirty. He's treated her like trash. Things are not what they seem. Now we know on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, like Kendrick talked all about how he treated his wife poorly. He talked about how he cheated on her, all of these different things. So I feel like it's not new like information that he has treated his wife poorly. I think that, again, I think it's an easy shot for Drake to take. But I think that it's not a secret that he's admitted that he didn't treat his wife well. So let's keep going. And then he also questions the paternity of one of his kids. So he said, I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Free. Don't make it Dave Free. So Dave Free is Kendrick's manager in TDE or someone that Kendrick works with in TDE. So, yeah, so just to keep a running tally, so far Drake has said that, you know, you call yourself a black messiah, but you always with white women. You don't donate money to your hood, even though you claim you're like this black activist. You did your baby mama dirty, and now all you're doing is pretty much begging for her forgiveness and trying to make things better among you two. And now your child also might not be yours, it's actually your manager's. So just to keep a little running tally. Now, this man also comes at the weekend and questions his sexuality. And again, I think it is such a cheap take to come for someone's sexuality like this. He says that, you know, lines like weekend music getting played in all the spots where boys get a little more pride. That's why your friends dip into Atlanta, paying to find a tour guide. Abel, run your fucking bread. You need to find some more chains for some more guys. I just think coming for someone's sexuality is such a cheap take. Like, if that's all you can come at and be like, oh, this man might be gay. Get a better line, Drake. Get some better lines, because that's not it. That is not it. He also tries to claim that Kendrick called Tupac's estate and begged him to get the diss taken down. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Kendrick had anything to do with it. I think Tupac's estate has been very vocal. I remember when either Kendall or Kylie Jenner had made those shirts with their face and like Tupac's face on it. And I remember during that situation as well, Tupac's estate had been like, you need to take those shirts away. Like, we did not approve this. So Tupac's estate has always been pretty vocal about how Tupac is used and where he's used. So again, I don't believe for one second that Kendrick actually called Tupac's estate and said, hey, take this down. But the big hitter of this whole song is about DV allegations. I'm not gonna go into deeply talking about DV allegations that much, but essentially he claims that Kendrick moved to New York to live the life of a bachelor. He proposed to his wife in 2015, but they're not actually married. And because we know the girls you actually like. Then he says that Kendrick hired a crisis management team to clean up the DV allegations. They hired a crisis management team to clean up the fact that you beat on your queen. You're dead. Do I believe it? Do I believe it? This is all alleged. I want to be clear again. This is all alleged. I don't want anyone's team to come at me. This is all alleged. Do I believe it? I don't know. Here's my thing. The thing is, if you do an album and essentially a big chunk or almost your whole album is you talking about how you treated your wife poorly, I'm not inclined, like, it's not a big jump, right? I'm not gonna sit here and speculate on DV, but the one thing I will say is I do think Drake is an exaggerator. I'm not denying or saying I believe or don't believe it, because again, I don't really want to speculate on DV. I think it's a very serious allegation. But I think Drake goes from here to here to here to here, and it doesn't surprise me that Drake is an exaggerator. Okay, so Kendrick, literally 30 minutes after Drake drops Meet the Grams. I'm gonna put the pic on the screen because Kendrick did not come to play. So if you don't know what you're looking at, this is proof that there's a mole in the OVO camp talking to Kendrick. You look in that bottom corner and you can see Drake's Ozempic prescription. You can also see 2 prescriptions for sleeping pills. There's some receipts from jewelry, I believe, jewelry receipts. And then there's also the glove. And I guess presumably that's the shirt as well. So we already see that Kendrick definitely has a mole in OVO. Like there's a mole. There's a mole. So we get Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams is wild. Kendrick. This is wild. First off, this song is addressed to Adonis, Drake's son. This is addressed to Dennis and what is his mom's name? Sandra? Yes, Dennis and Sandra, Drake's parents, and Drake's supposed daughter. First line of this song. Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive. I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore it. Do you know how wild that is? Do you all know how wild that is to open a song saying, Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. That's insane. That is insane. That is insane. That is insane. Let's continue on. So he compares this man to Harvey Weinstein, which you all should know Harvey Weinstein, and says he should rot in a cell for life. This man says, sorry. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, hypersexualizes them with kinks of a nympho fetish. Now, we already know the allegations against Drake with young girls.
I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest. I just want to thank you.
Had I known how many examples there would be of Drake doing this, I would have done this video a long time ago. Let's get into it. Another edition of You Think You're Looking at a super cute, super fashionable couple, but really it's a 19-year-old Georgia Smith with a 28-year-old Drake. Drake went on to write about the fact that he regretted this age difference and that she was just a baby. And then he dated the next girl. And yeah, I mean girl, because that's how old she was when they first met. Here Drake is in his next relationship with an 18-year-old Bella Harris. He's 31. What's even worse is that he met her when she was 16. Yeah. What I was not aware of is that he comments stuff like this on 18-year-olds' posts. Protect Billie Eilish. For the love of God. Now we can go all the way back to age 24, Drake. Bringing up a 17-year-old on stage, finding out her age, and then continuing to act the way he does. And the crowd laughed and cheered. So, I would really hope that if this happened today, it wouldn't be accepted in front of a crowd. But there are so many examples of this still in Hollywood, and we're like, ah, love that couple. Love them. This is wrong. This is problematic behavior. And someone recently commented on one of my posts, and I thought it was so poignant, that people like him choose girls this young because they're so insecure with themselves that they can't face a woman their age. And I think that's very, very, very true. Obviously, there's maybe layers of, trauma there. The hurt, but that's really no excuse to act this way. Canada is no longer claiming him.
Again, allegations. And Kendrick's touching on that. Kendrick is touching on that in this, that there are allegations. Drake has done a lot of things with women. He also talks about how Drake hates black women, which again, coming out of the rap beef and just talking about rap and rap culture as a whole, a lot of these bigger rappers hate black women, hypersexualize them. That is true. Use them for their own, deviance of sorts. And again, there is a lot of fetishism, colorism, fat phobia. Like, these men are awful to black women. So again, it's not far-fetched. Like, that's real. That's true. Anybody knows that Drake treats women poorly. I mean, we've seen Drake's baby mama. We've seen the women that Drake wants to go for. So, yeah. He got ex-offenders on HoVO that he keep on a monthly allowance. Boom. Allegedly. Allegedly, this man is harboring ex-offenders in OVO that he's also paying. He's paying them, keeping them covered. Other people in OVO, his label. For those of y'all who don't know, OVO is Drake's label. Party Next Door, The Weeknd, some other artists are on that label. The embassy about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. The embassy is what Drake calls his house. So he's saying this man's house is about to get raided because of the ex-offenders and other nefarious activity that is going on in Drake's house and in Drake's orbit. Let's go. Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. Should be teaching you timetables or watching Frozen with you, or at your 11th birthday singing poems with you. Instead, he be in Turks paying for X and popping perks, examples that you don't deserve. So, if we are to believe what Kendrick said here, Drake has an 11-year-old daughter. Now, some sleuths online have allegedly found this girl. I'll put the evidence that people have found here in the video, but supposedly Drake has another kid. I believe it. I believe it. I'm sorry, but like, if you already had one hidden kid, why am I supposed to believe you don't have other kids hidden? Why? I don't get it. Like, you already had one son hidden. I would not be surprised if after that, Drake he covered up them bases. He got them baby mamas paid off and quiet. But why wouldn't there be other kids if you already had one kid that you were gonna just hide from the world? To me, it doesn't seem that far-fetched for him to have another kid. Like, that doesn't seem that far-fetched. Oh, God. So, you got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping, and spending problems. Bad with money. Whorehouse. And this is in reference to stake.com, which is like a gambling website. But this man is essentially saying, like, look, like, this man has every problem in the book. hitting kids, ex trafficking ring in his home, and that his parents are failures. They should have never had him. Sorry to his kids that they are not, that he's not active. This is getting long. So what happens next? Like, hi, so this is Editing Lex, and I am back because as I was editing this video, Kendrick dropped again. He dropped the song Not Like Us, and y'all, I don't know what to say anymore because this man wants Drake deleted. The picture you're looking at on the screen is of Drake's house in the Neighborhood app, which basically shows the ex-offenders around you. Now, you can count all them little dots, but all of those people are supposedly ex-offenders that Drake has around him, which is crazy. Kendrick really gave us a club banger while simultaneously dragging this man's whole life in one little picture. Bro, the bars. This man really said trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. What in the world is going on? What in the world is happening? What happens next? And I do think this calls into question a very good question. When does it stop being rap beef, and when does this become like bigger than rap beef? In my opinion, I feel like, first off, to touch on the people that think this is all staged, I don't think it's staged. I think after the 2 songs released last night, Family Matters and Meet the Grams, I do not think this is staged. I think maybe if it started off staged, it is definitely not staged anymore. I do think that Kendrick has legitimate hatred for Drake. I do. And I could understand being Kendrick and hating Drake. Like, Kendrick is, I think, like I said, most people would not argue that Kendrick is one of the literal best lyricists out there. Like, I don't think anyone's arguing that. But to see someone like Drake who just bites off culture, his music is not particularly great, why wouldn't you hate him? Why wouldn't you hate this man who takes shots at everybody but doesn't do anything for himself? I didn't touch on how he has multiple ghostwriters. You know, he doesn't write his own stuff, which I'm not saying you have to write your music to be good. But again, it's like, think of it from the perspective of someone like Kendrick who writes everything, you know, or most of his stuff, right? It's just very tough to watch. So I think Kendrick has a legitimate hatred for Drake. I don't think Drake hated Kendrick until this. I think maybe he had disdain for him or wasn't the biggest fan of him, but I do think that Kendrick legitimately hates Drake and wants Drake out. And me too! Get Drake out of here! So I don't think it's fake. I don't think it's fake. I do think this is all very real. But for me, I do also wonder what the implications are for this whole thing. Again, when does rap beef go from being rap beef to being like real life serious, real life problems? When does rap beef become like really, really bad? And I don't know. It's like people have been canceled for so much less. I think the other question too is like, how far does this go? What is the ending of this whole thing? For me personally, I really want to see responses to the allegations from both sides, because I think one thing is this is dark now. Like, this is very dark. The allegations being made are very serious. And I want to be clear. I'm not like, just because I'm talking about it in like a tea video does not mean that I do not think these allegations are incredibly serious. And that's why I didn't really touch on the DV allegations, because I think DV is something crazy to speculate on, and I am not going to speculate whether it's true or false. I think this has gotten very serious. A lot of the allegations, again, ex-trafficking, like that is a huge allegation. I'm not gonna touch on whether or not I think those things are true, false, or like make theories about it because it's so serious. But I think the one thing that I would like to see is, I think the one thing that I would like to see is a response from both sides. I think Drake made an Instagram story. I'll try to put it here somewhere. But Drake made a story where he said, I don't have no daughter, or show me this daughter. And it's like, but you didn't address the ex trafficking stuff. So you're addressing a daughter that you probably have, let's be for real, but you didn't address any of the other extremely big allegations. Noted. I think with Kendrick, I would also like to see him talk about his allegations, because DV is a very big allegation. You know, your child potentially not being yours, those are big allegations. I think Kendrick is the type of artist that would sit down and do an interview and you know, maybe clear the air. I think Drake is one of those artists that gets extremely upset and would not do an interview. I think Drake would storm out of the room. I think Drake is the type of artist where he doesn't get asked about things. Nobody asks him anything because I think he's the type of artist that would just refuse. But for me, I think, you know, when we talk about where does it go next, sure, the diss songs are kind of, okay, it's entertaining. I use that with heavy quotes, but I would like actual answers, you know, about this stuff, because I don't think that we can just let those allegations flourish out. Like, it's transcended rap beef, and I don't know what this means for the future of rap. I mean, I think if I'm being honest, I think rap has already been on the decline. I think that you don't really have that much like real rap anymore. And so for me, I think that we have to look at the implications of what this all means and what this looks like. And, you know, are we just gonna let these kind of things flourish and not say anything? So that's where I think I would like to see it go, you know? Do I think there will be more responses? Yes. Do I think this is the end of it? Absolutely not. How can you end off on that note? So I think there will be more responses, but I would like to really see true allegations. Like, I don't even care if like Kendrick makes an Instagram post and is like, yo, this is not true. Like, I just want to see both sides address the allegations, because in my opinion, if you don't address the allegations, that looks sus. So anyways, I have been talking about this significantly longer than I thought I would. So I'm going to end it here. What do you guys think? You know, how are you feeling? I know I didn't really talk about the songs themselves and if I think they sound good. Personally speaking, I generally think the Kendrick songs are better. I think lyrically, I think they sound better. I will give Family Matters 1 point because I do think it was a good song, but yeah, that's it. I'm gonna leave it here because I could probably talk about this forever. So what do you guys think? How are you feeling? You know, who's winning in your opinion? Let me know, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. And if you're new here, because I'm wondering if this video is gonna like attract new viewers. So if you're new here, you know, check out the channel if you like this. I do some pop culture videos occasionally. So if you're new to the channel and you come from this video, please like, please share, please comment, and please subscribe. I would absolutely love that, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.